Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Pahrump Early Learning Academy, where we are more than just childcare.
Hi, I'm Monique Mitchell with KPVM Television. My children attend Pella and they love it. The curriculum they have is pretty amazing, and my children learn what they need at their level.
Not only are the children learning, they're having fun, and that's what matters.
I like Pella. They help you with your homework, and it's fun.
Give us a call today to tour our facility at 751-5335.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Tonight on News 46, the Horizon Market on Bella Vista is robbed a third time. The assistant sheriff is the victim of vandalism. And Election Day 2014 has arrived. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Well, once again, the Horizon Market on Bella Vista and Leslie Street was robbed at gunpoint early this morning.
Right before 2 a.m. this morning, the Horizon Market on Bella Vista and Leslie was robbed for the third time. What police are calling a copycat robbery at this time was committed once again by a 20-gauge pump shotgun. The Horizon Market on Bella Vista has been recently robbed, once on 9/30, once again on October 17th. This by the same individual wearing the same exact clothing, but using two different weapons. The first one on September 30th was a 20-gauge pump shotgun. The second one was a handgun. The description of last night's individual has not been released by Nye County Sheriff's deputies. No one was injured as a result of this crime, and no further details have been released. Police are looking into these robberies as well as the KFC on Highway 372, which was robbed on October 12th, and just an hour later, the Horizon Market on Highway 372 was robbed on the same night. Police believe that they've got most of the individuals that are committing this crime. We'll keep you posted. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
News 46 told you about the arrest of armed robbery suspect Donald McFadden yesterday. Today we have received a declaration of arrest on McFadden and a woman whose house he was hiding out in after a warrant was issued for his arrest.
On November 1st, armed robbery suspect Donald McFadden was taken into custody. He was located as what is being called a meth house at 2351 McMurray Drive. According to the declaration of arrest, an active arrest warrant was sent out by the Nye County Sheriff's Office for McFadden. The owner of the address, Robin Corliss Martinez, was at the location when Nye County Sheriff's deputies arrived. They asked if McFadden was inside, and she said that yes, he was in the back room. At that time, McFadden walked out of the back room with his hands up in the air and was taken into custody without further incident. The deputy who wrote the declaration of arrest report, Alex Cox, said he asked Corliss Martinez if she knew that McFadden was a wanted fugitive. She said yes. And then he asked how long McFadden had been at her residence. She said he'd only been there one night. Corliss Martinez stated that she knew he was wanted, but didn't call the police because she didn't have a cell phone. During the search of the residence, Deputy Farrell located 2 cell phones in Corliss Martinez's purse. She was arrested and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. Robin Corliss Martinez was arrested for harboring a fugitive. Donald McFadden is a suspect in several robberies, including the Kentucky Fried Chicken robbery on October 12th. The Horizon Market on Highway 372 was also robbed on October 12th, just an hour after the KFC was robbed. The Horizon Market on Bella Vista and Leslie has been robbed on September 30th, October 17th, and this morning, November 4th. Police believe that these cases may be related. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
And this campaign season has been extremely fierce. Our own law enforcement officers and the positions they currently hold don't seem to dissuade some criminals from attacking a candidate who they don't agree with. Assistant Sheriff Rick Marshall received a death threat this past month. The suspect was arrested for the offense. This morning, Marshall was once again the victim of a crime.
This morning, myself and a volunteer for my campaign went out and we were putting up campaign signs around the voting areas, and my rear tire on my Bronco went flat real quickly. I was able to take it to Big O Tires this morning, where it was discovered that it had a sidewall puncture in it, and one of my spare tires also had a puncture in it, and the air in my trailer tire, the spare one, the air had been let out of it. So we were able to get those fixed and go back to putting campaign signs back up.
So, did you guys report this? It's being considered a crime right now, right?
That is a crime, and it is being handled, yes.
Do you guys have any suspects in mind?
No, not at all.
So, this was all done on Election Day, or at least you found out about it on Election Day. Do you think it's people who aren't super happy about your campaign?
You know, I've learned throughout this campaign that nothing surprises me, so it would not surprise me to find out that it had to do with the campaign. At this time, I don't know that. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I don't believe in those types of coincidences.
And coming up after the break, find out where you can place your votes.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. Nye County election polls have been busy throughout the day. They opened at the Bob Roode Community Center at the corner of Basin Avenue and Highway 160 and the former 9th grade Academy Gym at Pahrump Valley High School on the corner of Calvada Boulevard and Mount Charleston at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. tonight. We spoke to Nye County Clerk Sandra Marlino.
We haven't had any large lines, but it's been busy and steady all day.
So we're here at the 9th grade Academy, the old gym here at Pahrump Valley High School. You guys decided to do it here. Has this been a polling place before?
No, it hasn't. And actually the school district asked me to move to this facility. And I think it's worked quite well. The parking is great. There's plenty of places for the candidates to put up their signs and campaign. So I think it's a good facility.
So it's going pretty smoothly. I know you got the early voting numbers yesterday. We got those out and everything. So what's it going to look like for the rest of the day here?
You know, we always have the same little issues. We have a couple printer issues, a couple machine issues. We shut them down, that type of thing. So it's hectic all day long. But basically everybody wants to come in and get their vote recorded, and I just look for 7 o'clock.
What time will we start seeing some results?
You know, the first results should be in right after 7 o'clock, and those will be the absentee and mail-in precincts only. And then it depends on when I get back to the office, then we actually start doing the early voting and the rest of the precincts. But remember, we have to transport from Beatty, Amargosa, and Round Mountain in. So it's going to be 8:30, 9 o'clock before we get any really good results.
And so then, when do you think they'll be finished by?
Well, we're hoping for 10, if we're lucky.
That we'll start seeing some final results there?
Yes.
And so as far as Tonopah is concerned and what goes on, some of the ballot counting, how does that work?
Well, you know, my Tonopah office actually handles the absentee and mail-in, and I have a board who comes in. They're of 3 different parties, and they actually balance all the ballots, then they process them through a machine, but they do not get results until 7 o'clock. They actually close the polls on our paper ballot machine and get results at that time.
Tell me what the difference is with the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots.
Mail-in ballots are for those precincts who, well, actually they're for towns that don't have enough voters to warrant having a polling place, such as Gabbs, Manhattan, 40 Bar, Sunnyside, Mercury. They're all mail-in precincts.
And so that's different from an absentee ballot where you're planning that you're not going to be here in town.
Exactly, or you're disabled, elderly, and you don't want to come down to the polls. That's correct.
As far as the rest of the evening is concerned, the polls are going to close here promptly at 7 o'clock, and then we should be seeing some results.
Yes, but just remember, it takes us about half an hour to an hour to shut down these polling places, and we don't start tallying until we're done.
And News 46's Deanna O'Donnell was able to speak with some voters out there and get their opinions of the midterm elections.
I think it was pretty exciting. I'd be glad to see the Republicans get control of the House or the Senate. It's about time we get something done in this country. So other than that, I hope it all goes well for Republicans.
What do you think about the local campaigning?
Local campaign got a little exciting there for a little bit, but I voted for the ones I thought should be elected.
And so what do you think about the actual going in here and voting? Is it going pretty quickly for you?
Yes, very quickly. It's very efficient. They're doing a great job.
I found it very easy going in, not that crowded, very relaxing, and they took care of me very well.
So have you voted here at the Bob Reed before?
Yes, I have. This is my third year.
How long have you been a resident?
Going on 11 years in Pahrump now.
How did you like the campaign season this year? What's your opinion of it?
This year, I think they were a little rough on each other, but besides that, you know, they're all out there. They're all politicians, so I guess they got to do what they got to do.
I think the turnout on early voting was really good.
Was it better in your opinion, or more people participating this year, or about the same?
I think there's more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because I counted the voters as they came out, and I got an update at the end of the day, and we was right on it pretty close every time I went in there, and there's quite a few.
And have you been over to the other polling location yet?
No, but there's people over there
Yeah.
selling the tickets.
I know you're selling tickets, aren't you?
Yes.
What's those for?
Well, I'm still too close, I can't say.
It's for a gun raffle, though, right?
Yes, it's a AR-15 Colt. That's going to be drawn in northern Nevada later. And then there's a Rock Island 45 and a Rock Island 10 millimeter. They're being drawn tonight.
Oh, so it's all going to be done tonight then?
The two pistols, yes.
Where's that going to be at?
At the Falls.
Oh, Mountain Falls?
Yes.
Okay. And any other things that you would like to talk about with the campaign, with the what's going on with the election and the polls today?
I think it's going very smooth. I can't believe the way they're putting people through here. It's fast.
It's been a dirty campaign. I don't like to see that type of stuff.
Yeah.
We're getting divided too much.
What do you think there, Donna?
Oh, I highly agree. I highly agree.
What would you like to see change?
I'd like to see it mandatory that they have to have a ID to vote. I mean, you can't do nothing else in this world unless you have an ID and have something to show, and voting is the most important thing. And they say some places you don't have to have it.
Wow.
I don't think that's right.
Well, the Nevada Highway Patrol is planning a badge-on-board enforcement blitz this week in the Las Vegas area to promote traffic safety around big rig trucks. The effort comes after Nevada ranked third in a national comparison of high-performance states for commercial motor vehicle enforcement. The rankings were announced October 22nd by the American Transportation Research Institute. Badge-on-board puts troopers in trucks to watch for speeding and aggressive driving by motorists traveling too closely, tailgating, failing to yield, or cutting in front of big rigs. Motorists may also receive educational handouts, hear and see public service announcements on radio stations and billboards. The NHP Badge on Board program began in 2008. It has included periodic, focused enforcement efforts. And the victim of a fatal collision between a train and truck near Elko last week has been identified as a Reno man. The Elko County Undersheriff says Frank Obleck's truck was stuck on the tracks when it was hit by a train Friday about 15 miles east of Elko. The 68-year-old Obleck apparently did not try to get out of the vehicle. The Reno man was found dead in the back seat of in the back seat and he may have been sleeping. He also says there's evidence alcohol was involved. Investigators were unsure why Oblek was in the area. Now, after the break, get your local sports information with Courtney Salmon.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444.
Welcome back to News 46. Now here's Courtney Salmon with your weekend sports.
Weekend Sports is brought to you by Wolfenstein Construction. PVHS Cross Country competed in the regional meet on Thursday in Las Vegas to try and battle their way into the state championship meet. As a team, the boys finished in 6th place and the girls finished in 5th. Neither team qualified for state. Unfortunately, none of the girls qualified on an individual basis for the state meet. Fanny Desquantin missed qualifying by 10 seconds. She finished in 16th with a time of 23 minutes and 15 seconds. Freshman Bryce Odegaard will be the only boy competing on an individual level at the state championship meet. Odegaard finished in 6th place overall with a time of 17 minutes and 4 seconds. Teammate LaRon Sonerholm missed qualifying for state by 24 seconds. The state championship meet is this Saturday, November 8th at Sunset Park in Las Vegas. PVHS girls soccer's playoffs hopes came to a screeching halt on Thursday when they lost to Faith Lutheran 1-0. Faith Lutheran has definitely been the powerhouse all season. The Trojans had a chance to make it to the playoffs. They were on the bubble for 4th place in a 3-way tie. Pahrumph's fate was determined by the winner of the Spring Valley versus Clark game. However, there was no winner. The game ended in a tie, and both Spring Valley and Clark advanced to the playoffs, ending Pahrumph's season. PVHS girls volleyball begins their playoff battle tonight at Sunrise Mountain at 6 p.m. against Boulder City. Boulder City is the #1 ranked team in the Division 1A Sunrise League with a 13-1 record. Pahrump played against Boulder City at an invitational back in August and beat them 2-0. This has been Weekend Sports. I'm Courtney Salmon with News 46.
Thank you, Courtney. Well, Minnesota Vikings star Adrian Peterson avoided jail time today in a plea agreement reached with prosecutors to resolve his child abuse case. Peterson pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor charge of reckless assault under the deal that Montgomery County State District Judge Kelly Case approved during a court hearing. A no contest plea isn't an admission of guilt, but is treated as such for sentencing. The All-Pro running back was indicted in September on a felony charge of injury to a child for using a wooden switch to discipline his 4-year-old son earlier this year in suburban Houston. The case revived a debate about corporal punishment, which is on the decline in the U.S., but still widely participated in homes and schools. Well, a special fundraiser dance will be held this weekend called Vets Swing.
It's on November 8th. And it's called the Vets Swing, and it's going to be a USO dance. We are hoping to raise a lot of money. As many of you know, the Miss Senior Golden Years and Silver Tappers are pretty much self-sufficient in that we pay for all of our own expenses whenever we go any place. We are planning a trip up to Carson City as the ambassadors of Pahrump. And all of that comes out of our pockets. And so we are going to hold this event hoping to raise a little bit of extra money that we can use for our own selves when we go out and about within our community. But a majority of the money will be going to our homeless vets here in Pahrump.
And so this is going to be in November. People can buy tickets now or donate?
Yes, we have tickets available right now. The event will be at Mountain Falls, and it's a big event. The tickets are $45 per person. If you are a veteran and can show your little card, then it's $40. We are also looking for businesses or individuals who would like to purchase a table, which would be for 8 people, for $350, and then you could invite a veteran who perhaps might not be able to afford to come to such a dinner. We will have dancing, we have entertainment. Tom Saida, Tommy Deering, a couple of other local artists will be performing all evening. Lynn Peterson is one of our top performers. So it's just going to be a really fun event. We are looking to have the door prize, or the main prize, be a weekend in Las Vegas. So, as I said, this is one of our larger events that we've planned, And it's not only to benefit ourselves, but to really benefit the veterans in our community. Now, to go along with Sandy's platform, we have added that if you bring an unmentionable when you come to the door, you will get a little ticket and you'll be able to go to the bar and get a free drink.
An unmentionable is what?
An unmentionable would be socks, underwear, undershirts, for men in particular, but what we are finding are there are also some women veterans who are in need. So, we're thinking of long johns. It's wintertime. It's going to get really cold out there. So any of those items would be greatly appreciated. And we want them to be new because we want to be able to give them something that's really special.
Now here's Angela Miles with today's First Business Brief.
This is the First Business Brief for Tuesday, November 4th. I'm Angela Miles. Kia and Hyundai will pay a record fine. The car companies are accused of overstating gas mileage figures on 13 models. It's a violation of the Clean Air Act. The EPA is imposing a $100 million penalty. The companies claim EPA regulations are unclear. Sears hopes to get a head start on holiday shoppers. The retailer joins Macy's and Kohl's by opening doors at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving and staying open through Black Friday. Kmart opens at 6 a.m. and will stay open for 42 hours straight. Costco, Barnes & Noble, Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, TJ Maxx, Sam's Club, and GameStop will all be closed on Thanksgiving. And Red Lobster recommits to, lobster. The struggling restaurant chain, now under new ownership after being sold by Darden Group, is tweaking its menu. That means pork chops and tortilla soup are out. That's the First Business Brief. I'm Angela Miles.
Well, folks, keep it here because right after these messages, we're going to have your weather with Noah Begin.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Tuesday, November 4th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 68 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 72 degrees. Winds were coming from the east-northeast today at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 13 miles per hour. So we had some moderate to high winds outside today. The UV index today was 3, which is moderate. Humidity was at 11% today. Sunrise was at 6:10 this morning, and the record high in 1988 was 85 degrees. Well, tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 44 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 51 degrees. Winds will be coming from the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 8 miles per hour this evening, so it should have some low winds. Humidity will be at 19%. Sunset will be at 4:45 this evening, and the record low in 1943 was 26 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 47 degrees. Winds will be coming from the northeast at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 8 miles per hour, so we should be retaining those low winds. Humidity will be at 16%. Sunrise will be at 6:11 a.m. and the UV index will be 4, which is moderate. For our 7-day forecast, we'll have a mostly sunny week. Your temperatures seem to be pretty constant. Your high temperatures will be ranging from the high 70s to the low 80s, and your low temperatures will be ranging from the high 40s to the low 50s.
Well, it looks like we're going to have an awesome weekend this weekend with those low 80s. So tonight, KPVM will be having live election results coverage beginning at 7 p.m., so keep it here. And folks, that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Monique Mitchell, and from everyone up here at News 46, we hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow. Until then, good night.